The Torah is holy and divine, but also relevant and timely, and there's a great example in this week's Parshat Beshalach. This learning is in the merit of the elevation of the soul of Ran Ben Yitzchak, or Ran Gvili, the final Israeli hostage who was recovered by the IDF this week in Gaza. Ran was a hero on October 7th. He was defending Kibbutz Alumim, one of the kibbutzim near Gaza, where he fell in battle. His body was taken into Gaza by Hamas terrorists and held there for nearly 850 days. Now, his family has closure. Hashem יקום דמו, and may his memory be a blessing, and may his neshama have an aliyah. Parshat Beshalach is one of my favorites. It's Shabbat Shira, and it's called Shabbat Shira because it's the Shabbat of Shirat Hayam, the song at the sea. When the Jewish people have finally been set free, Pharaoh agrees just for a moment to free the Jewish people. They run towards the Sea of Reeds, Yam Suf, the Red Sea, and they arrive there and they see the Egyptians are running after them. When they get to the sea, the Israelites realize, oh my God, we are now trapped. The Egyptians are behind us. The sea is in front of us. What the heck is going to happen? The Israelites are dramatic. They say, was it for want of graves in Egypt that you brought us to die in the wilderness? Moses calls out to God, and God is like, why are you calling out to me? Tell the Israelites to go forward. Tell the Israelites to take a little bit of agency here. And guess what? Moshe raised his staff, the sea split, and the Israelites walked across the land. Okay, so my theme today is taking agency, having control over our lives. Okay, so of course we have Shirat Hayam. The Jewish people all tune into the same spiritual frequency. They start singing the same lyrics. They sing, I will sing to God. All these beautiful, it's gorgeous, gorgeous text. There's a beautiful idea that the Torah concept of a song, of a Shira, I am Shira, as you might know. The Torah concept of a song is not just a song with a melody and music. No, the Torah concept of a song is when all the little pieces of life come together and suddenly make a whole picture. It's like pointillism, where there's tiny little dots and then you look back and you can see the whole picture. This is what the song at the sea was. The Israelites recognized they had to go through all of the pain of their hundreds of years of slavery in order to be in this very moment. And we can have these experiences in our lives as well. Moments of clarity when we see, I see why this little piece and that had to happen. And it happens rarely, but when that does happen, it is a Shira. It is a song. Two ways of looking at the world. There's one, believing that we have free will and we can change the outcomes. And the second thing is to believe in determinism, that everything is determined ahead of time. You have no control over everything. Judaism believes in some place in the middle. And this is what I mean when we talk about agency. So throughout this song at the sea, the Egyptians, who of course, as we know, followed the Israelites into the sea, but were hurled to the bottom. Some were hurled to the bottom like lead. Some were hurled to the bottom like stone. Some were tossed about. And what does this mean? Our commentators, specifically Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki Rashi, the preeminent Torah commentator, says that it's based on how cruel this Egyptian was in life, how they died. Were they either sunk to the bottom immediately if they weren't so bad, if they were tossed around and suffered for a long time, if they were truly bad. Okay, so that's the first example of our actions causing something to happen. The second thing happens later in the Parsha. So as the Jewish people are traveling throughout the desert, we get the famous manna, or man in Hebrew, this bread that falls from the heavens and arrives on the ground in the mornings. According to our commentators, according to tradition, where the manna fell was how righteous you were. So if you were a super, super righteous guy, it would plop right in front of your door. You just open your door and there's breakfast. If you were really not a great guy, you have to go all the way out in the desert to find your manna. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that the Egyptians were treated based on how they treated others, and the man fell for the Israelites based on how they treated others, based on how they were. So what does this show us? It shows us that our actions matter. The way that we act, the way we conduct ourselves is important and has a direct impact on our life. But this makes it even more powerful because in our lives, when we do good things don't naturally happen to us. In our lives, when we do bad things don't happen to us. We don't have any motivation to do good things except for the fact that it's the right thing to do. You have to make your own choices. And this is proof, though, the way that we conduct ourselves matters. So you should not feel fatalistic, like things are just going to be the way they are no matter what. No, we have control over the outcomes in our lives. We may not see it immediately. It may take a while for all the pieces of the puzzle to fit together, like I said, with the Torah definition of a song, but we eventually will see it. Best Parsha, Shabbat Shira, really love it. Shabbat Shalom.